Welcome to Date Night with the
Coopers.
This channel we do film reviews and sometimes TV, but mostly we're trying to help you not scroll, especially if you're like us and can't make it out for after date night. You don't have time for that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Today we'll be reviewing End of the Road, which is starring Queen Latifah, Ludacris Bridges, and...
I think it's Bo Bridges.
Yeah, whose brother is that?
The Big Lebowski's.
Oh, Lord.
Jeff Bridges.
Boom. Okay. Glasses on. Let's get started. Boop, 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 boop. The director is Millicent Shelton. I get her name right. She's known for 30 Rock, Run the World, and Your Jam, Titans.
Yeah, Titans is a pretty good show. I don't know if you guys watched that. I think it just got picked up for another season.
Did it?
Yeah, but it's different than the comic book, but it's pretty true to comics. So you got good villains, good, heroes in their journeys and their conflicts and all that. It's a pretty good show.
It's pretty hardcore. That's one of those superhero series where, I'm like, wait a minute, this is HBO Max. Like, whoa, like the fight scenes and death scenes, and they don't play.
They go there.
They go there.
But we digress.
We're talking about End of the Road here. The screenwriter and the creative mind behind this whole thing is Christopher J. Moore. He has an interesting backstory I'll share later. Some of his own experiences inspired this movie, which I was like, wow. And the person that actually finessed the script at the very end, made sure it was smooth as far as the screenplay, is David Lowery.
He gave it a punch up.
Yeah, punch up. Tell them what a punch up is, in case people don't know.
If someone writes a screenplay and they think it's great, they might need some additional story elements, or maybe the characters are a singular voice, or maybe you just need characters to be a little more authentic. You might hire an additional writer to give it a punch up.
So he punched it up.
Yes, he did.
And boy, did he. Okay, take the glasses off. Time to get serious. Let's tell about this movie, right? Let's tell them about this movie. Okay, this is a high-octane thriller. Like, in some places I thought, okay, I know what's going to happen. It seems kind of formulaic. No, I really didn't know what was going to happen. Queen Latifah, her name is Brenda in this movie. She's a mother. She's got 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and her brother, who's kind of like a little bit just not all there, a little bit rough around the edges, always messing up. He's played by Ludacris, right? So they're moving from LA to Texas, to Houston. A funny part to me was when her son, who reminds me so much of Jack, he's a brainiac. The son says, "Are there black people in Houston?"
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They said, "What about Beyonce or Destiny's Child?" He's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh my God, this is generation, what is it, Generation Alpha?"
Yeah.
What's that next generation?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So funny. Anyway, they're on a road trip. Brenda's husband has just passed, so she's mourning, grieving, and collecting her family and trying to move them for a new life, basically. They've lost their home, and so they're going to stay with someone. And what they encounter on this road trip is just crazy and unexpected. They stop at a seedy motel. They're trying to save money, and basically they witness a murder. And it kind of goes downhill and uphill, downhill from there. And they're in the battle of their lives, basically. There's a couple things we do when we watch a movie. We break down a couple things. We say what, Ralph?
Well, if we like the movie, then we say we do upstream.
Right.
Which means you should put it in your queue.
Right.
But if we don't like the movie, then downstream.
Downstream.
Keep it moving.
We also talk about, is it a good movie? Overall, are the performers believable? Do we like the performers? Is it well written? And how was the screenplay? So, babe, what did you think of the screenplay? What did you think about that?
So I think the story elements were good up to, I'd say, the midpoint of the movie. And then it got a little cliche. First part of the movie, I didn't know where it was going.
Put my glasses back on for this one.
I was totally enjoying the movie, and then
Cliche, huh?
then there was a switch, and you go, oh, that's kind of a convention. That's what we expect to happen. And but I still enjoyed it. I mean, there are a lot of movies that are cliche, or there are a lot of movies that just kind of use what you expect to happen. It happens. You still enjoy it,
Right.
but it didn't shock me in any ways. Right.
Did you believe the performers? Were the performers believable? Did you believe Ludacris as this kind of messed up brother that's kind of trying? He is trying, but he's a mess up. Did you believe Queen Latifah as the mother, the matriarch of his family?
I think all the characters were great, and I think all the actors really embodied the characters, including the kids, including our bad guys. I think everyone did a really good job as far as their performance is concerned.
Those bad guys I thought were really good. They were well casted. I believe those bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what they were going to do. Those bad guys made you be like, ooh, let me, I don't know now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Queen Latifah played a strong mama.
Yeah.
Like, you don't mess with a mama bear. So I appreciated that they gave this woman strength. They made sure you saw her strength, not only mentally, but physically too. And I appreciated that. I thought, like you said, there were some things that I didn't know what was going to happen. And some things I'm like, it's formulaic. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But what was so cool in researching this before even watching this film was Christopher J. Morris. So he's, a screenwriter. He's also an author, like novels, whatever. But he's like you. He's born and raised in LA, but he went to school in Illinois. And so, just like the kids in that film, they weren't used to some of the things, like even the racism and things in LA. Even Ralph and I'm from Virginia originally, and Ralph's from LA. And even some of our experiences have been different, just growing up. So, like the kids in the film, some of these things he was definitely not, the writer was not used to. And he said when he was in college, in Illinois, they would take road trips to Florida. And they would drive through Georgia, Atlanta, all these places, right? And they passed some very seedy motels, some very dark streets, some very dark back roads. Ralph, we've done that, even driving from Florida to Atlanta.
Yes.
Some back roads where we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we just hope the car doesn't die.
Don't look. Make sure that tank is full. I like eating snacks like every 2 hours. I'm gonna go without the snacks, okay? Let me just get to even in present day, 2022, right? So he's talking about this I don't know how many years ago. And then another thing I appreciate as far as creative process, this final screenplay, which eventually went to David Lowery to do the polish, the sparkle, right? It's like, I think it was something like 30 versions. Like in the beginning, it was like a mother and her husband and the kids. And then it was grandparents and the grandchildren taking this cross-country trip. It ended up being, a mother and her brother, which is Queen Latifah and Ludacris. But I respect that. That's hustle. He stayed with it. Tracy Edmonds, who's behind this film, helped push it, believed in it.
Executive producer.
Yeah, he's the EP on it. So, I respect it. And that's motivation for me, for you guys. If you have a project you want to get out, is just stay with it. What is that? Formula 409? It took them 409 tries to get that chemical right. See, it's not a plug. Get some money. We're doing it for you. But anyway, overall, what are we going to give this? Are we upstreaming it or downstreaming it?
It's a well-made movie. At the end of the day, it was entertaining. I enjoyed the performances. Some of the story elements were a little predictable, but overall, I enjoyed the film.
I did too. I thought it was good for a date night. Ultimately, and that's our last question. Is it good for a date night? I thought so. You cuddle up with the boo, or like I said, with the cat, the dog, not the bird though. They're not gonna like that. It's all good. Yourself, I cuddle up myself. I watch TV shows and movies. This one doesn't like when he goes to bed. Because, I got to get my fix. Myself. Whoever you're watching it with. So we suggest it, right? All right, guys.
Upstream.
Anything you want to say to the good people, Ralph, before we sign out?
Thanks for coming. See you next time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate the support. Thank you.